I should have known something was wrong the moment my sister said those words. Please don't marry him. You don't see what I see. Her voice was trembling that night, Christmas Eve, the cold kind where snow doesn't just fall, it listens. It felt like the world went silent for those 5 seconds after she said it. Silent enough for me to hear my own heart beating against my ribs. Silent enough to know this wasn't jealousy or overprotectiveness or a misunderstanding. It was fear, real, trembling fear. But I didn't listen because I was in love with him. Because I believed he was the kind of man who only existed in movies, warm, gentle, thoughtful, the man who kissed my forehead more often than my lips, the man who lit up every time he said my name. But now, looking back, I realized something. My sister wasn't warning me about a future mistake. She was trying to save me from something she had already seen. Something she knew, something she couldn't tell me. Not then. Not yet. Christmas lights blinked against the frost-tipped windows that night as I sat on the couch, holding the engagement ring he gave me just a few days earlier. The fire crackled softly, filling the room with that warm, buttery glow that made everything feel safe. But I wasn't safe. I just didn't know yet. My sister, Lily, stood near the Christmas tree, arms crossed, her breath shaky, eyes glossy. She wasn't the dramatic type. She rarely cried, rarely raised her voice, but tonight her face was pale with something that felt older than sadness. It looked like regret. I whispered, trying to keep my voice calm. "You love Ethan. You said it yourself. He's good for me." "That was before," she said quietly. "Before what?" She didn't answer. I watched her chest rise and fall, watched her hands tremble, watched the way she kept looking at the stairs, as if expecting someone to come down, someone we both didn't want to see. Snow drifted outside the window, like falling ashes, soft but heavy. I knew something had shifted. I just didn't know it was everything. "Lily, if there's something I should know—" "There is," she cut in, swallowing. "But I can't be the one to tell you. You have to see it for yourself." Those words replayed in my mind for nights, weeks, months. I thought she was being overly dramatic or protective. I thought maybe Ethan had confided something in her, something personal, something unrelated to me. I thought the worst thing he could be hiding was a financial issue. Maybe an old debt. Maybe a problem at work. I didn't imagine anything darker, anything that could make a person's voice shake like that. I heard Ethan's footsteps upstairs, the gentle, familiar rhythm that always made me smile. He didn't know my sister was here. He didn't know she had pulled me aside and whispered a warning like it was a secret she wasn't supposed to speak. Lily suddenly reached out, grabbed my hand, squeezed it with a force that scared me. "Please," she whispered urgently, "don't say anything tonight, not until you're ready." Ready for what? She closed her eyes like it physically hurt her. For the truth. Before I could ask anything else, Ethan's voice drifted down the stairs. "Avery, is everything okay?" His voice sounded normal, warm, caring, the kind of voice that could soothe a storm inside your chest. And maybe that's why I froze, because nothing sounded wrong, nothing felt wrong. But my sister's hand slowly slid out of mine, and the look she gave me, I swear, it felt like a goodbye. "I have to go," she said abruptly, wiping her eyes. "Lily, Avery, please," her voice cracked. "Don't marry him until you know." "Know what?" But she was already putting on her coat, already stepping into the cold night, already drifting away into the falling snow, like her words had emptied something out of her. Ethan came down the stairs, confusion on his face. "Was that Lily?" he asked. "Why did she leave so fast?" I opened my mouth to answer, but somehow the cold air my sister left behind had settled inside me. My throat felt tight. "She's just stressed," I said quietly. He nodded, pulling me into his arms. His embrace felt warm, familiar, safe. Safe. But her warning pulsed beneath my skin. That night, even as Ethan held me close beneath the blankets, even as the snow felt softly outside, even as Christmas lights glowed across the room, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing her voice. "You have to see it for yourself." See what? Ethan was asleep beside me, breathing softly. His arm was wrapped around my waist, his skin warm against mine. Nothing about him seemed wrong. Nothing felt dangerous or deceptive. But then something happened. A buzz. His phone lit up on the nightstand. A message at 2:14 a.m. from someone named C. Just a single initial. The message preview said, "Don't forget tomorrow. We have to talk before she finds out." My entire body went cold. My sister's warning, her shaking voice, the way she couldn't even look at me. Don't marry him. I stared at that glowing screen like it was a doorway into the truth she refused to tell me. I should have woken him up. I should have asked. I should have demanded an explanation. But I didn't, because some truths you can't ask for. You have to find them with your own eyes. I slowly lifted the phone, careful not to wake him. My heart hammered so loudly I thought he'd hear it. The message disappeared into the lock screen. I needed the password. I didn't know his password. Or maybe I was the one who never realized he changed it. Maybe that was the first sign. I put the phone down. I couldn't breathe. His arm tightened around me in his sleep, like he sensed I was slipping away. But I was already gone, already falling, already knowing. Tomorrow, I would learn what my sister knew, and it would destroy something in me I never thought could break. I barely slept that night. Every time I closed my eyes, that message replayed in the darkness behind my eyelids. "Don't forget tomorrow. We have to talk before she finds out." The words circled my mind like cold wind slipping through the cracks of a window frame. I kept feeling like I was standing on a frozen lake, and I could hear the ice beneath me starting to crack, one sharp, invisible line at a time. By morning, my chest felt hollow. Ethan woke up first, his hand brushing my cheek gently. "You didn't sleep well," he murmured. I forced a small smile. "Just thinking about Christmas," I lied. He kissed my forehead, warm and soft, the kind of kiss that used to melt me. But now it felt like placing a warm hand over a bruise, comforting but painful. He didn't notice the way I stiffened, or maybe he chose not to. The sun had barely risen, yet Christmas lights still glowed faintly around the house, their reflections shimmering across the frost on the windows. Snow continued falling outside, quiet and patient, like it was waiting for something. I watched Ethan make coffee in the kitchen. He hummed a Christmas tune under his breath, moved like nothing was wrong, like he wasn't hiding something that needed to be discussed before I find out. My stomach twisted. I couldn't look at him without hearing my sister's trembling voice. "You have to see it for yourself." "See what, Lily? See what?" He set a mug in front of me. "We still need to drop by your parents' place tonight. Your mom texted. She's excited to see us." His voice sounded normal, casual, warm, but the message on his phone still burned in my memory. "What are your plans for today?" I asked carefully. "Just errands. I need to meet a friend for something quick," he said. My heart tightened. A friend? Who? And why did he look away when he said it? Around noon, he said he had to head out. I watched him put on his coat, the dark green one I loved, and comb his hair back neatly. He smelled like cedar and winter air. He always smelled like home. But today, the scent made me nauseous. He grabbed his keys off the counter. "I'll be back in a couple hours," he said, leaning down to kiss me. I turned my face at the last second, so his lips brushed my cheek instead. He froze slightly. "Everything okay?" "Yeah, just tired." He hesitated, then nodded. "I'll bring something sweet for you." Normally, I'd smile and tease him, but not today. Today, I just watched him walk out the door, watched him disappear behind the curtain of falling snow. The moment it closed, I felt the quiet in the house shift, like the walls were exhaling. I reached for his phone. It was gone. He took it with him. Of course he did. I needed answers, but I didn't know where to start. I walked to the living room, staring at the Christmas tree, at the ornaments glimmering under soft white lights. My reflection stared back at me from a silver ornament, pale, frightened, unsure. Something inside me whispered, where would Lily start? The last place she kept looking at. The stairs. My heartbeat thumped heavy as I stepped toward them, and climbed, each step creaking softly. Our bedroom was exactly as we left it, but I didn't stop there. I moved toward the small guest room at the end of the hall, the one no one used, the one that always felt colder than the rest of the house. The doorknob felt icy when I touched it. When I opened it, a faint smell of dust and old paper drifted out. Inside, everything looked untouched. Boxes stacked neatly, a folded blanket on the bed, a bookshelf. But something was off. One box was pulled slightly forward, like someone had moved it recently. I walked to it slowly, my breath uneven. When I lifted the lid, I didn't know what I expected. But it wasn't this. Photographs. Dozens of them. Not of us, not of him, but of a woman I didn't recognize. Long dark hair, soft eyes, a smile that felt hauntingly familiar in a way I couldn't explain. She looked about my age, maybe younger. Some photos showed her laughing, others showed her sitting under a tree. One looked like a hospital bed. My fingers trembled as I lifted a picture with shaky hands. The woman sitting on a porch, wrapped in a red Christmas blanket. On the back, in Ethan's handwriting, C, Christmas 2021. C, the same initial from the message. My heart thud painfully. Who was she? Why did he have her pictures hidden? And why hadn't he told me? As I sifted deeper into the box, something else caught my eye. A bracelet. Delicate, silver, engraved with the letter C. I covered my mouth with my hand, trying not to gasp. Was she his ex? Someone from his past? Someone important enough to keep but not mention? But then another thought crawled into my mind, a darker one. Why would Lily warn me about someone who wasn't even in his life anymore? No, this wasn't old. This wasn't past. This was now. This was happening now. I picked up a small envelope at the bottom of the box. Inside was a torn piece of paper, a hospital discharge paper. My vision blurred as I read the name printed at the top. Claire Henderson. Claire. C. My chest tightened until I couldn't feel my breath. Why did Ethan have a hospital paper of someone I never heard of? Why did Lily know something about her? Why couldn't she tell me? What truth was so heavy it made her cry? I stood up, shaking, clutching the papers in my fist. I needed answers, but not from Lily. not from anyone else. I needed them from him. I rushed to the window. Snow was falling heavier now, thick flakes tumbling from a dark sky. The world looked quiet, almost peaceful, but not inside me. Inside me, everything was breaking. Just then, headlights appeared down the street. His car. He was back early. My heart slammed against my ribs. I grabbed the photographs, the bracelet, the discharge paper, and I stood at the top of the stairs, waiting to hear the front door unlock, waiting to confront the man I thought I knew, the man my sister begged me not to marry. The door clicked open. Cold air swept inside. Ethan stepped in, with snow on his shoulders and red cheeks from the cold. He looked up the stairs and froze. Not because I was standing there, but because of what was in my hands. His eyes widened, not with confusion, with recognition and fear. For the first time, I understood something. He already knew this moment was coming. "Where were you?" I asked, my voice steady, even though my hands trembled. He swallowed hard. "Avery, we need to talk." "I know," I whispered. "About Claire?" His face went pale, like I had pulled the ground out from beneath him. He opened his mouth to speak, but before he could say a single word, his phone buzzed in his pocket. A message. From C. The hallway felt colder than the snowstorm outside. I stood there, holding the letter, the edges trembling between my fingers. My mind was a blur of half-formed thoughts, broken memories, and the sound of my sister Claire's last warning echoing again and again. "Avery, he's not the man you think he is." I pressed my back against the wall and slid down until I was sitting on the wooden floor, the soft glow from the Christmas tree spilling into the hallway like a spotlight on my unraveling life. I couldn't stop staring at the name written on the envelope. Harper. Not me. Not a nickname for me. Not anyone I recognized. It felt like someone had scooped the air out of my lungs. I remembered the way Ethan used to look at me when we first got together, or at least the way I thought he looked at me. Maybe I had been wrong the whole time. Maybe I had been living inside a story I wrote for myself, and this moment, right here, was the truth ripping through the pages. My phone buzzed softly in my pocket. I didn't look. I didn't need to. I already knew who it would be. Claire. She must have sensed something was wrong. She always did. The letter sat like a weight in my lap. I knew I shouldn't open it. I knew if I crossed that line, there was no going back. But I also knew that if I didn't, I would spend the rest of my life wondering, dying inside with unanswered questions. I wiped my face with the sleeve of my sweater. My hands were shaking so badly, I almost tore the paper as I slid my thumb under the flap and opened the envelope. Inside was a folded sheet of thick, cream-colored stationery, the kind people use for important messages, not casual ones. My heart thudded painfully as I unfolded it. The handwriting wasn't Ethan's. His was sharp, clean, controlled. This was softer, more elegant, a woman's handwriting. Immediately, my mind started spinning. Who is she? Why does she have access to him? Why is she writing him letters? Why is he keeping them? I read the first line. "Ethan, I hope you're doing okay. I know this time of year is always hard for you." Hard for him? He never told me Christmas was hard for him. He always acted like it was his favorite season. He loved the lights, the snow, the music, or at least that's what I believed. My fingers tightened on the page as I continued. "I know you said you'd reached a decision, and I respect it, even if it hurts. I promised I wouldn't call, so I won't. This letter is the last time you'll hear from me. I'm letting you go, just like you asked. My stomach dropped. Letting him go? Decision? Not calling? My throat tightened. I kept reading. You deserve to be happy, Ethan. I hope she makes you happy, truly. But no matter what, a part of me will always wonder what our life could have been. My breath left my body in a slow, agonizing exhale. My vision blurred for a moment, and I had to blink to keep reading. Be well. Harper. I stared at the last line until it stopped looking like words and started looking like a blade twisted into my chest. She wasn't just some friend. She wasn't some coworker. She wasn't a stranger. She was someone he had made promises to. Someone he had asked to let him go. Someone he once planned a life with. The hallway felt smaller and smaller, like the walls were pushing inward. I wasn't angry, not yet. I was confused, broken, and overwhelmingly stupid. I married a man I didn't know at all. Before I could think further, I heard Ethan's shift in the bedroom. I froze. Panic shot through me like electricity. I shoved the letter back into the envelope and crammed it into the drawer where I found it. My hands moved fast, almost violently, shoving the drawer closed before he could see it open. The bedroom door clicked. I shot up and wiped my face again. My heart thundered so loudly, I prayed he wouldn't hear. Ethan stepped out slowly, rubbing his eyes. "Babe?" he whispered, confused. His gaze settled on me. "What are you doing out here? It's freezing." I swallowed the earthquake inside my chest. Just couldn't sleep. He nodded with a tired smile and stepped closer. "Come back to bed. It's late." His voice was gentle, warm, exactly the kind of voice a loving husband would use. But now, it felt staged. He leaned in to kiss my forehead, and for the first time in our relationship, I turned away. I saw it, a flicker in his eyes, something sharp and startled. "Avery?" he whispered. "What's wrong?" I tried to speak, but my throat felt like it was tied shut. I forced out. "I need a minute." He reached for my hand. I stepped back. Another flicker crossed his face, but this time, instead of concern, I saw something else. Fear. The realization hit me so hard, I almost stumbled. He wasn't afraid for me. He was afraid of what I knew. "Did something happen?" he asked carefully. His tone wasn't soft anymore. It was measured, controlled, like he was walking across thin ice. I steadied myself and spoke with a voice that didn't sound like mine. "Ethan, is there something you want to tell me?" His eyes flashed just for a second, but the moment was enough. He knew. He knew I knew something, but he didn't know what. He swallowed. "Avery, please, you're scaring me." I shook my head. "Good." He hesitated, and then, too quickly, he said, "There's nothing to tell." Lie. Clear as glass. I stepped forward. He stepped back. The distance between us had never felt so heavy. "Fine," I whispered. "Then I'll find out myself." His jaw tightened. "Avery, don't do this." The way he said it, low, controlled, almost threatening, sent a chill down my spine. I had loved this man. I had trusted him. I had defended him against my own sister. And now I'm not sure I even knew who he was. Without another word, I walked past him, grabbed my coat, and stepped outside into the freezing Christmas night. The snow hit my face like tiny shards of glass, but the cold didn't matter. None of it mattered. As the door closed behind me, one thought echoed louder than the storm. Claire was right, and I was about to uncover the truth Ethan never wanted me to find. The cold slapped me the moment I stepped outside, but I kept walking. Down the porch steps, across the driveway, into the quiet street buried in snow. My breath came out in white clouds, and each step felt heavier than the last, like the truth was settling over my shoulders. Streetlights flickered against the falling snow, casting long shadows on the ground. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew where I had to go. Claire. She would still be awake. She always stayed up late on Christmas week, baking, watching movies, and waiting for me to text her Merry Christmas Eve, even though we both pretended to be too old for holiday traditions. And right now, more than anything, I needed my sister. My hands trembled as I called her. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times. "Pick up," I whispered. She answered on the 4th ring, her voice breathless. "Avery?" The way she said my name broke something inside me. "I'm coming over," I said quietly. "What happened?" I need you." "I'm waiting," she said. No hesitation, no questions. I hung up and kept walking, the snow swallowing my footsteps as I made my way down the block. My chest felt tight, my eyes burned. By the time I reached her house, a small brick place decorated with soft yellow Christmas lights, I was shaking. Claire opened the door before I even reached the steps. "Avery," she breathed, wrapping her arms around me. I didn't cry, not yet. I leaned into her and whispered, "You were right." She pulled me inside, shutting the door against the storm. "Tell me everything." We sat on the couch, a warm blanket around my shoulders. The room smelled like cinnamon and vanilla, safe, familiar, but my hands were still cold. "I found a letter," I said, voice barely audible. "A woman named Harper. She wrote him. She said something about a decision he made, about letting him go." Claire froze. "Avery," she said softly, "I didn't tell you everything." My heart thudded painfully. "What do you mean?" Claire stared at the Christmas tree lights reflecting off the window. Her voice shook. "I didn't want to ruin your marriage. I didn't want to be the reason you doubted him. But I saw Ethan with someone last year, Christmas Eve, at the cottage in Maple Ridge." My skin went cold. My voice came out in a whisper. "With Harper?" Claire nodded. I didn't know her name then, but yes, she was crying. He was holding her hands. And Avery, he wasn't acting like a friend. He looked broken. My mind reeled. Christmas Eve last year, the night he proposed? He left for a quick errand that lasted 2 hours, and he came back pale, shaking, and unusually quiet, before suddenly dropping to one knee. I never made the connection. "What were they doing there?" I whispered. Claire swallowed, hesitating. "Follow me." She stood and walked toward her bedroom. My breath grew shallow as she pulled something from the top drawer of her dresser. A photograph. She handed it to me. At first, I didn't understand what I was looking at. It was Ethan, younger, maybe mid-20s, standing beside a woman with long dark hair and a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. The woman looked familiar, too familiar. Then it hit me. The handwriting on the letter, the soft, elegant script, Harper. My fingers went numb. Claire exhaled shakily. "This picture was taken 4 years ago. They used to live together. She was the one he dated before you. But Avery, it wasn't just dating." I looked up slowly. "They were engaged," Claire said quietly. The room spun. Engaged? He was engaged before me? And he never told me. Why did they break up? I whispered. Claire hesitated. Avery, I don't think they ever truly did. My heart dropped. She held my gaze. I think he proposed to you to move on from her, or to bury whatever he did. But I don't think he ever stopped loving her. The words felt like knives. My lungs burned as I stood suddenly, pacing, the photograph trembling in my hands. He lied to me, I whispered. He hid her all this time. Claire stood and held my shoulders. What are you going to do? Before I could answer, headlights flashed through the window. A car rolled slowly up to the curb. My blood froze. Claire whispered, Avery, is that... I stepped toward the window, my heartbeat pounding in my ears. Ethan stepped out of the car. His expression wasn't anger. It wasn't worry. It was desperation. He looked around wildly before spotting Claire's house, and when he did, he exhaled like he'd found something he'd lost. He started walking toward the front door. Avery, what do you want me to do? Claire whispered. I stared at the door, at the shadow moving behind the frosted glass. Let him in, I said. My voice was calm, cold. A knock rattled the door. Claire opened it just enough to reveal him. Ethan stepped inside, his face wet, not from snow, but from tears. Avery, he said, breathless, please listen to me. I didn't speak. He sank to his knees in front of me, hands trembling. I tried to protect you, he whispered. My jaw clenched. Protect me from what? From what I did, he said, voice cracking. From the truth. Claire hovered near the kitchen, ready to intervene. I crossed my arms. Start talking. He swallowed. His voice broke. Harper was pregnant. My entire world shattered like ice. I stared at him, unable to breathe. He kept going. She was pregnant, and I didn't know how to handle it. I panicked. I ran, and she lost the baby. She told me that night in Maple Ridge. That's why she said Christmas was hard for me, because it's when everything went wrong. I destroyed her. I destroyed us. Tears slipped down his face. He wasn't lying. He wasn't performing. He was confessing. I proposed to you that night because I thought maybe if I chose a different life, I could escape what I'd done. I could bury it. But I never stopped feeling guilty. And Harper, she wrote me one last time to let me go. Silence swallowed the room. Everything inside me cracked open. Pain, betrayal, heartbreak, disbelief. You should have told me, I whispered. I know, he said, collapsing. I know. I was terrified you'd see me the way I see myself. I stared at him. How do you forgive someone who hid the darkest part of themselves behind a ring and a promise? How do you stay with someone who built a marriage on half-truths? I wiped my face, my voice steady but breaking. Ethan, I'm leaving. His head shot up. Avery? I'm not choosing your guilt, I said quietly. I'm choosing myself. Claire stepped beside me, gripping my hand. I'm not punishing you, I continued softly. I just can't live in a marriage built on secrets. I deserve the whole truth, not what's left of it. Ethan bowed his head, tears falling onto the floor. I'm sorry, he whispered. I know, I said, and I hope you heal, truly. I turned away, gripping Claire's hand as we walked toward the bedroom to pack. Behind me, Ethan's sobs echoed through the house. Not angry, not manipulative, just broken. I didn't know what my future looked like, but I knew one thing. When my sister warned me, I should have listened, and now I finally was.